This is my favorite story over the weekend. They are closing in on the Pope, and this is so far the worst crisis that he's had since he's been running the church, and that is the sexual abuse scandal. And at some point, he is caught up from when he was a cardinal as being part of the cover-up. What they would do, Fez, is like, let's suppose there was a kid-touching ring going on here at Sirius XM.
Right.
And Fez Whatley was diddling one of the children here. The bosses, Steve Blatter in that case would go, Fez, you've done something horrible. We're now going to move you to the Stars Network. You know what I mean? They would just move you around inside the same system.
And that would be the end of it.
That would be the end of it. And they would, move them to Haiti or Ecuador. And then, of course, it would, there it would begin again. So the Pope said he's not going to really deal with any of this, and he's not going to be intimidated by petty gossip. So it's really just petty gossip. So, Dave, you're a Catholic boy born and raised, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't you think it's time just for the news to ignore this story and make it go away? Because the story's been out there for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
And the people who they take their children to the Catholic Church, they don't give a fuck. Why would you still be a Catholic after 30, 40 years?
This is so old. This is so boring. It's, what are you going to tell me next? The president, JFK was assassinated? Stop it.
Yeah, it's the same story over and over, and it doesn't seem to mean anything to the Catholics.
No.
It's only an outside thing. Now, obviously, if the Scientologists or the Mormons would have had this kind of history of child abuse, and these stories came out, we'd burn their fucking churches down. We'd run them out. The Catholics, we accept it. We're fine with it. The mothers and fathers are fine with it. It's just what they do. That's it.
That's just one of the prices
they
you
blow
pay.
Kids.
Absolutely. Listen, I was an altar boy. I knew the fucking landmine I was getting myself into.
Now, luckily for you, you were way too ugly to be abused.
Thank you. Well, no.
So that it's one of those times where it fucking is perfect to be redheaded.
But there is society to answer to as well, just not the church. It's one thing, for the church to put down a punishment on one of these priests, but there's also laws of the land that these priests are practicing in.
You ever hear any of these big problems with it? Or these stories just get brought up? The church is owned most of the government. They're sitting around, they support Republicans, they support Democrats, they put money in, they have people get up, they put old ladies in buses and have them go to the anti-abortion things. There's too much power there. And no one gives a fuck. When's the last time you heard a president, a senator, a congressman, a mayor, a governor stand up and say, we've got to do something about this sick-ass Catholic Church? Never.
I've never heard that.
So your whole thing of society doesn't make sense. Apparently it's okay with the governments. Apparently it's okay with the people. And occasionally the kids will get older, say, wait a minute, this is wrong. They get a lawyer. They get paid off. The luxury tax for these fucking priests.
You know what you're getting into as a Catholic. We've got our own code, and that's the way it goes. The mafia has their own code. We Catholics have ours. Leave us alone.
The mafia code could be against the law as well.
No, it's not. Stop pointing the finger, everyone else. We don't come over to the Lutherans and say, oh, look at how fucked up the Lutherans are, or the Jews, or the fact that Muslims treat women like shit. Muslims have a very bad history in themselves. But you work on yourself.
Now, maybe if they changed their name to the Catholic Church, and then just underneath of it, we fuck kids. But how many fucking movies have you seen? How many stories have you... We know it. Doubt. We get it. It's been done.
Sleepers, all that shit.
No one gives a fuck. This is a known fact. It's basically like saying there's fucking traveling in pro basketball. We know it. Yes, there's a rule that says you shouldn't travel. Everyone does it anyway. The ref sees it, the commissioner, everybody's okay with this. Why can't they just fucking admit, why can't there just be an article that comes out to go, we are okay with kids being molested as long as it takes place in a Catholic church? Then we're fine with it.
Yeah, it's Catholic on Catholic.
But, you know, Fez, you're talking about the rules of society. You can't give me one fucking politician. You can't give me one.
It's like saying that, you know, guess what, folks? Smoking's bad. The smokers themselves, they know this. It's 2010. Smokers
Wow, is
know.
it really?
Yeah, and they know it's bad. But, you know, there's also other things. That's all.
Phil, Long Island, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, hello, fellas. Listen, the Vatican's a nation. They have status in the world. And where is the UN on this? Or is this a country that allows pedophilia?
Here's the deal. They have got their fingers into every nation in the world. Not only are we okay with it, but these same fucking people can do business and we do not fucking tax them. Nothing. Zero. I can't believe we live in a fucking country where the one fucking business that isn't a fucking sat down and taxed like everybody else is the business that you can't even fucking prove that you've gotten the product that you paid for. That you can give 10% of your money without any fucking guarantee of whether or not that product has worked for you. Insane.
In the membrane.
Could you imagine that you could get fucking cough medicine sold without proving that it works? And this is a non-taxable fucking business. And then what do those people do? They go and put fucking people in buses, old ladies, to show up and hand them protest signs of shit that they don't even fucking know what it is. Fucking crazy. Crazy fucking society. All right. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Alberto's, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Hey, to that point, did you ever see that documentary, Deliver Us from Evil?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's about one of the priests in California. He molested like 50 kids on his own. And it's a pretty twisted look at this guy. It's on Netflix Instant, where it shows the effect of the families and and how they moved them around from county to county. It was really compelling. It's definitely worth a watch.
Well, first of all, you're fucking. This is a job too that they fucking tell the person it's a 24-hour day job. You can't have an outside family and you can't have sex. It's a job that fucking targets or fucking demands that people become asexual. It's fucking insane. I mean, what do we know about the other job that you're not supposed to have sex at? Sailors. What do those motherfuckers do the second they get off of a ship? They go fucking batshit crazy. Why would we think priests would be any different?
They get hookers and scurvy is what sailors get. And priests are almost the same.
Only
you trade hookers for altar boys.
It's fucking nuts.
I'm shocked that the Vatican though won't have priests get married in this century.
What the whole fucking point is to keep women from having power. You did not want the priest's wife to have a lot of power. You wanted to fucking own that, and when they collected their money, the money would go back to the church. It was never you know what, I have a wife and kids. I need a little fucking money for this, you know?
I see.
What am I doing? Because you look into the Baptists and all them, their ministers make big fucking money, and they swing a big stick, right? So each church is only as strong as that minister. Where the Catholic Church, it's a huge corporation with all the power at the top.
Yeah.
You're down south, a guy starts going very well with his church, and he's like, I can make even more money if I move across the street, start my own church. And those fucking guys do it all the time. It is so fucking carny. The entire fucking gimmick of religion, I can't believe that you can't get cotton candy and balloons when you go there. It's the only thing that would make it better. You as soon as you come in, you could fucking get yourself a little bit of cotton candy, a balloon, and at least leave with something.
I don't understand why they haven't gotten rid of altar boys altogether, where kids just can't do that job. If they want someone to do that job, have an adult volunteer to fill in there.
No, it's like having a bat boy in baseball. You don't want to have an adult hand in the priest shit.
I guess unless it was a retarded guy, and then it's fucking adorable.
We had a retarded guy.
Yeah.
We had this kid Larry who was like 19.
Yeah, they're never of age. They're never of age.
And Rod, trust me, it was the worst shift, and we called them shifts. By the way, that's how fuck. But it was the worst shift when you had to work with Larry because he could fuck up the entire mass, and he would.
Of course they would.
That kid fucked me. Has so much tips on Catholic weddings, I can't even tell you.
Ben, in Georgia, you're on Run of Fez.
Yeah, actually, there's no rule that says priests don't get married or can't have sex and have families. It's actually just a choice that they make as a lifestyle choice that's come down from years and years and years so that they
like
can,
1,000 years, you know. I mean, it might not be written down, but it's a gimme. There's no married priest. So to sit around and say there's no rule, to try to tell these people how to fucking run their thing. Like, it's like saying the mafia doesn't have rules because it's not written down. Of course it's fucking rules.
Yeah, and I'm actually not even buying that. I think there's a rule written down that priests have to be celibate and not take wives because their hearts go to God, not women. Pretty sure that's actually a written down rule. It's a priest rule.
It's just nutty. It's the nuttiest fucking thing that you'll ever see. All right, Ashton Kutcher is probably the most famous person to get in the early stages of Twitter.